What's up, guys? It's Jordan with Tacoma Lifestyle. Today we have Colby here. He has brought in his brand new 2024 Toyota Tacoma. We are so excited about this, and we're going to go over all of the details on his build and some of the things that we have planned for it. So Colby, what do you think of this new truck?
I love it. I've only had it for about 4 days and I've loved it so far. I went with a TRD Sport. Basically you could get an off-road or you could get a Sport. This is the Sport. I love the look of the hood soup.
Yeah.
So I got that. First thing I did though, immediately, is I blacked out the fenders, blacked out the hood scoop, blacked out the roof. And the TRD Pro design they did was so good looking.
Yeah.
So I just matched that with the Sport and we'll build it up. It's going to be a sweet build by the end of it. So,
because when you brought it in originally, it had, because this was white, the fenders were white.
Yep, everything was white.
It just didn't have the same presence as it does now.
Yeah, it just looks a lot more aggressive with the black. I love how it's turned out so far.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've had a couple of people think it's a TRD Pro even.
Yeah.
So,
yep,
it's pretty sweet. This is an all new truck, and I'm sure like it's a little bit different because you had a 4Runner before.
Yep.
Like, what are some of kind of the differences you've noticed after the 4 days of having the Tacoma compared to the 4Runner?
We'll get to it later, but the interior is just out of the way better than any 4Runner.
A huge step up.
Yeah. I had a 2018 4Runner, so it was the outdated radio, multimedia, all that was not even in there. So that's great. On the exterior though, it just looks aggressive. I love it. I've always wanted a truck, so it's cool to switch from the 4Runner to the Tacoma.
Yeah. And I love like these fog lights down here. I know like on traditional Tacomas, we've had just like the normal circle fog lights down here. A lot of people have hated the fact that they've gone to this 10-inch light bar. What are kind of your thoughts on that?
I actually love it. I think it looks more off-road and less like a street car.
Yeah.
Even though it's a great street car as well. But I don't know, it just looks more aggressive. I love the look of them. And the way these companies that we sell, like Diode and Baja, they've already come out with these cool OEM plus looking inserts right there that you can put two S2s or SC2s, whatever you want to do. But I think they look way more aggressive. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome look. I didn't really like it at first, but it's grown on me a lot. And even like these headlights too. Like, yeah, I know third gen like had these huge headlights, a big kind of C DRL. These ones are a lot smaller.
I'm interested to see what the aftermarket does. Yeah. Like obviously we sell for Alpha X, Morimoto. We have all of that on our website. I'm really interested to see what designs they come up with. It's a smaller headlight. It's going to be a little harder, but stock just out of the gate, they're amazing. They're very bright, super cool. Something kind of unique, I think. They have the auto bright headlights on these two new Tacomas. Yeah, that's kind of different.
An interesting feature.
I don't think that was on any previous generations, not on any 4Runners.
Not that I've seen, yeah.
So that's pretty cool, and I love it so far.
Yeah, I think, we were talking about this earlier, but these trucks have just a single projector on both sides, and it gives us this really cool like on-road presence that we haven't really had in Tacomas in the past. I don't know, what do you think they would do like aftermarket wise? I'm thinking like you could do kind of a C shape right here.
Yeah, I think they'll be like the classic, how Morimoto's and Alpha X look. I think there will be that DRL look. But I don't know, it'll look different. There's not going to be the room like there is for the 4 projectors and things like that, but they'll make it just as bright and it'll be awesome. Yeah,
we're excited to see what all these companies have in store. But one big kind of controversy with these trucks is the engine.
Yep.
Well, what can you tell us about the engine in this?
So coming from the 4Runner, obviously my 4Runner weighs like 3,000 extra pounds than it should. I don't know, something crazy. It's super heavy. So that was a slug. It was slow.
Well, what tires were you running on?
I was running 35-inch tires. It was slow.
that'll.
So comparatively, this is like amazing to me. I love it. It's been fast. It was responsive. I know it's like a 4-cylinder and some people don't like that, but the 4-cylinder with the turbo feels good. It's like just as powerful, if not more powerful. The torque, you can feel it. Yeah. I've loved it.
And I don't know if you've felt this, but when I've driven these trucks, the torque comes in so low, it almost doesn't feel like a turbocharged car.
Yeah, and I do feel a little bit of a lag, but I kind of like that you know when the turbo's kicking in.
You can feel the turbo actually doing something.
And I like that part about it. I'm really interested to see how it does off-road.
Yeah.
I haven't really been able to yet, and it's also on stock wheels and stock suspension.
That will be changing.
Yes, very soon. That's kind of this is the start of that. So this thing's going to be built to go on any trail. Yeah. And I'm excited to see what it does.
And how does it sound?
I love it. And I think that's going to even get better and better as this aftermarket continues to grow.
Yeah.
New exhaust, all that. I don't know, I don't have experience. People say 4-cylinders can't sound good.
This one sounds
stock. It sounds pretty good to me. And the more people do with the turbos and all that, and cold air intakes, all that, it's going to sound good. Yeah. I don't have a doubt it won't.
Yeah. So. I think something cool about this truck is, we talked about it earlier, it almost sounds like a turbo 4-cylinder diesel.
Yeah,
like when it's kind of has that tick. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And the turbo actually kicks in at a lower RPM, and it's not like any 4-cylinder truck like the older Tacomas that are 4-cylinders.
Yeah.
None of those. It's completely different than that.
Yeah, cool. Well, it sounds like the engine has been pretty good for you so far.
Yep.
Let's talk about something that a lot of Tacoma owners hate, and that is the transmissions in these trucks have been pretty crappy for the longest time. Lots of gear hunting, like
yep.
The power delivery just isn't there with these transmissions. What is that new 8-speed like?
Again, I didn't have a 3rd gen. I had a 5th gen 4Runner.
Yeah.
I didn't have a
But you had 5-speed in that.
Yeah.
So it's probably worse.
The 4Runner was bad. It was bad. It hunts gears on hills. Again, I haven't really, I don't know, being in Utah, we're on hills all the time.
Yeah.
So I do see, and I haven't seen the gear hunting like I did in the 4Runner. Mm-hmm. I really think it's a lot better. I think it's completely changed. And I think they did a great job with the engine and transmission of this truck. I think it's going to do really well.
Yeah, I know. We're excited to see everything the aftermarket does with these, but it looks like Toyota has made a great package so far. So now let's move on to some of your plans with wheels and tires. All right, so coming over to the wheels and tires of the vehicle. Something new on this truck, and I guess you would have seen it on your 4Runner, but previous generations of the Tacoma, they ran like really narrow, and you had to do like this crazy offset to get the poke.
Get any poke out. Or like stance.
I've noticed something different about this. It seems like it's more of a positive offset on these.
Yeah, I've seen a couple different things of what it actually is. I'm not sure, if I'm being honest, but I know it's positive. So like the classic -12, -10 offset that everyone has, that's going to poke like quite a bit. You're going to have a pretty aggressive stance. I've seen some people that do like a +12 offset, and it looks great.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. I've got -10 wheels going on here, so that'll be kind of the next stage of this build. Yeah. Our next video will kind of showcase that.
And what are you kind of thinking for wheels? Because we've seen a lot of like great wheels on Tacomas. Like what brand, what style?
I don't know if anyone followed my 4Runner build. I was very diehard. I loved Nomad. I did it for a long time. With Nomad again, but it's an unreleased wheel, so I'm not going to say anything about it.
Okay.
But
it's a little bit of a secret. Yeah.
We'll see it. It's going on tomorrow, hopefully. So tomorrow I'll get wheels and tires and a leveling kit put on.
And you said you're going to do like a -10 with that?
Yeah, so that's a -10 wheel, 17-inch rim.
And you think that's going to be enough to kind of just push it out?
I think it'll look really aggressive, actually.
Okay.
I think it'll look really good, and I've got mud terrains going on, so that's always aggressive. It'll look
awesome.
good. I'm interested to see how it fits.
Yeah.
Toyota did this nice, like, removable crash bar.
Yeah. Like right where that.
Not that it's meant to be removed.
Yeah.
But what we used to have to do, we used to have to do cab mounts and all these crazy welding and all that. You should just be able to remove that from what I've seen, and we should be able to fit them just fine. So we'll see. Cool. I haven't played around with it yet to really know, but I'm excited to see what people do with the wheels on these, because there's a lot more freedom to put bigger tires and do everything.
Well, you were running 35s on your 4Runner, and how hard was that to get that to work?
It was a pain to make it work, honestly. Right? You have to do all the body relocates, and I put wide body on and all this stuff, and still had to trim the wide body. So there's all kinds of stuff you had to do, and I think 35s will be pretty plug and play with these. It'll be easy.
You think it'll just clear? Is that something that will clear without a lift, or have you seen like people having to do a lift?
So I think you were down there with Sherpa. They had a 35-inch wheel.
They did 35 no lift.
No lift.
But it was a little tight. A challenge. Yeah.
So I've got, I think it's 3 in the front, 2 in the back. Lift, like just a leveling kit. The only stuff that's out yet. I think with that we should have no problem at all. Removing that little piece back there, and we should be good.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be awesome. So 35-inch tires. Are you doing 17s for the wheel?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Well, it's gonna look sweet. And then what size ready lift are you doing? You said 2 inches up front?
It's 2.25 is what the lift is. That's the total. It's the 2.25 inch lift. It's from Ready Lift. So that should be really interesting also to put on. I haven't actually ran a puck lift. On my 4Runner, I had like a full suspension lift, and obviously we'll upgrade that as soon as they come out with it.
Yeah, we're kind of limited with what manufacturers have out right now, but we know a lot of companies are working to get full suspension kits out for them.
Yep.
What suspension is on these trucks, like out of the factory? Do you know?
Out of the factory, they're Bilsteins, like Toyota's always done.
Yeah.
Yep. I think they're really nice for like, I don't know of another manufacturer that actually has a high quality shock out of the factory. So it's been great. I haven't off-roaded it yet, but been great on the road.
Which will change.
Yeah.
Again,
I just
will change.
build it out a little. So it's only been 4 days.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got some good things coming with wheels and tires. Let's see what else you kind of have planned for the truck. Okay, so we're in the interior of the 2024 Tacoma, and this is drastically different than any Tacoma I've seen before.
I love it.
Like, this screen is huge. What are some of like the features that you've loved about this?
So that's a little bit of an upgrade. That's a premium.
You could say
not
that.
Premium.
The tech package.
Yeah, you pay for the tech package, but it's completely worth it. I mean, that screen's awesome.
Yeah,
it's huge. So that's really cool. The whole interior, I think, is actually a really sleek design. I love the. I mean, we've all talked about this. The off-road,
awesome.
theme that they have. They have Molly panels in here. The grab handles. I love the drive select down here. The interface is really easy to work with. I love it.
And there's a lot of buttons. Like, I feel like every new car these days, it's like a touch screen. And it's all controlled up here.
Even like your AC, like this is awesome to have a actual button.
And they feel just like good, solid, and you're not going to miss these.
The truck feels solid. Bright blue, so that's a little different.
Yeah, do you like that?
Honestly, I was trying to get one so bad that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But it's grown on me. I like it.
But that's like a TRD Sport thing, right? Like this isn't every Tacoma is going to have this. Most TRD Sports.
No, just the TRD Sport, I think. So kind of interesting, unique. We'll develop something. We'll make it look cool.
So this will be going away at some point.
Yeah, Tacoma Lifestyle. We'll do something with it. So
as a driver, what is the driving experience like on this side of the truck?
There's none of that, no grab handles, but I don't know.
Well, that's what
I guess
steering wheel's for.
Steering wheel, and then like really, if you need it, the doors. They have the pass-through grab handles, which I think is a little unique. I don't remember if the old Tacoma had that. It's an awesome. I love it. The steering wheel feels great. The truck just feels really good.
Yeah.
It feels like a solid truck, not like a poorly put together. Start button, that's
a huge plus.
That's a big plus. Those were in the previous generations a little bit, but still.
But not something that's in from like the base model up. Like every truck has a start button now.
Yeah, which is awesome. You can't really see it over here. It's kind of interesting. I found this out last night, which I had no idea. You can like angle your fogs from right here. There's like a dial. You can
actually.
Yeah, it moves them up and down. Just a little bit, not a lot, but it moves them a little bit. It's kind of cool.
I didn't know that was a thing.
And then like we talked about the auto headlight, which is cool. Auto brights, I guess, not auto headlight.
So, well, there's a couple of new features on this truck that are kind of auto like that. This truck has remote start.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. That's been amazing. I've never had that in my 4Runner, so that's a huge upgrade.
And I'm sure you'll really like it in the winter here in Utah when it gets freezing cold.
Yep, exactly. It'll be really nice. So.
And then on the steering wheel, I know on probably your 4Runner, on my Tacoma, the volume and then the Seek track were like switched.
Yes.
Is that something that they fixed on the steering wheel?
The volume's on the complete other side, plus and minus like you would think, and then you change the music on the opposite side, so it's been great. Yeah. And then as far as room in the back seats go, what is it? Not great.
You had a chance to sit back there?
I mean, we all know it's not great.
Yeah.
It's a Tacoma.
You're buying it. It's more of a two-person vehicle.
Yeah, honestly, it is. Like, we know the Tacoma doesn't have space in the back seat.
Yeah.
Honestly, that hasn't fixed. It has not gotten bigger. But that's just kind of what you understand when you buy it, that you're not going to have a ton of space.
Yeah, exactly. And seating-wise, we're in just the cloth seats.
Cloth seats.
Is there an option to get the leather? Okay.
Yeah, so like this is the upgrade package, but there's a premium package, which obviously that gets all your leather seats, all that fancy stuff. But we'll fix that as well. We'll develop some stuff. We'll work with some companies we know, and we'll have
they'll have something out.
Leather seat covers in probably a short amount of time. So that'll be awesome.
And then up here we got a sunroof. Is this something that you like having? Or?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I like having it. I had it in my 4Runner. Obviously, you put a rack on, you put Rome cases. Yeah. You don't see much, but I still like. I like honestly the ability to crack it rather than open it all the way.
Yeah. So you really can just crack this open.
Yeah. There's 2 separate buttons, so you can crack it if you want, or you can just open it all the way.
Okay, that's really cool. And then this mirror, I've seen on a couple of models that it can be digital. Is this one digital, or is it just? Okay.
This is a regular rear view. No camera. Like I think that's only on the. Maybe the premium. I'm not sure. It's either the premium. I know the Pro has it for sure.
Yeah.
Which that is a cool feature. I wish it was on all of them, but it's not, and
it does its job.
Yeah.
It's not going to break.
Same with that. There's aftermarket for everything, and as that gets developed, we'll build it out.
Yeah. And I mean, we've had Wolfbox before, and they make a really nice digital screen.
Yeah. Those companies will for sure come out with all of that.
Yeah. And speaking of just digital things here, I mean, we got the touch screen. We talked about the mirror. But your gauge cluster is now just one big screen. One
big screen, digital. You can customize it. I've kind of messed around with it a little bit. You can fully customize it, and it's pretty cool. You can see your turbo, your air pressure, tire pressure, all that.
Can we give it a start just to see what that looks like? Because I'm a big fan of having the analog gauges. That it was kind of a knock for the 4th gen.
Yeah.
One of the very few knocks I had on it. But this one's actually set up pretty well.
Yeah, and so like you can save settings across it. So for example, if I want to, like how I have the turbo on this side and the kind of pitch and roll on the other side, you can have different like pages of saved settings.
Oh, okay, so that's really cool.
That's what I've been messing around with a little bit. It's cool. I really like it. I like the digital actually. It has all that Toyota safety sense, like cruise control and lane tracking.
Yeah, all of the safety features that are like standard in these cars.
So, and that displays on here as well, pretty cool.
Okay.
And it's been awesome. It's a huge upgrade.
And then I see, I mean, you're a little low on gas, but speaking of gas, the gas mileage in these trucks is something that's been improved with the iForce Max. What are you running MPG-wise?
Let's see. So, another video, but we just did our drag race video, 3rd gen versus 4th gen today.
And you were kind of flooring it.
And I was flooring it for the good majority of the afternoon. So it went down, but before it was at about 18.4.
Okay.
That's only been driving it for 3 or 4 days. I've actually not filled this truck yet. So this is my first tank of gas.
I've heard that it takes a minute to kind of adjust. The computer takes a bit to adjust. Is that something you've seen as you've been driving it more? So
I actually thought of this is kind of different. The 4Runner, I felt like mine never really changed. Like it wasn't really accurate and never updated that often.
Yeah.
This one will update in just me driving to work and back in one day. Go from 18.2 to 18.4 or whatever.
So it's a real time.
I feel like it's pretty good about being real time with your miles per gallon.
Yeah.
So that's been awesome. But yeah, I floored it today for half the day. So that's why it's gone down quite a bit.
But I mean, even just going from like 18.2 or whatever it was to 17.8, that's not that big of a dip.
And I was getting
significantly better than.
Yeah, I was getting like 9 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
In my 4Runner. So this is great.
So you're already saving a lot more money with this.
Yep.
Well, this is cool. I'm excited to see what a lot of these manufacturers do with interior products for these trucks. And it seems like Toyota's really stepped it up with the interior on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to see what we build for it as well. There's going to be all kinds of AJT and MISO and that kind of stuff. I mean, perfect example, these need to be replaced without doubt. And MISO, we'll develop that in a heartbeat. Diode replacements, MISO, whatever we do, we'll have it on our site and we'll make sure to.
And this is something that you guys are like actively talking about, like.
Yeah, we are actively making those aftermarket parts with these companies and helping them develop them. So it's been awesome. Yeah,
it seems like it's going to be a sweet package for sure on these trucks. So, okay, so Colby, we've gotten to the back of your Tacoma right now, and I want to talk a little bit about the rear suspension and tires, or I guess and brakes, because this truck has this truck has something that we've never seen on a Tacoma before.
So disc brakes in the back, which is different. They used to be drum brakes.
Yeah. And the drum brakes, it's kind of dated.
Yeah, it's dated. Another video again, that same drag race video we did. We tested them, the 3rd gen versus the 4th gen. Fourth gen beat it. It just brakes quicker.
We didn't know if it was going to at first.
Yeah, we weren't sure. I didn't know the honest like upgrade of a disc brake versus drum brake, but it beat it. It stops very quickly.
It's a great.
So that's awesome. It's a great upgrade.
And I know for like service wise, a lot of people have had like issues with drum brakes in the past. This is going to be a lot easier.
Yep. And then suspension wise, coil springs instead of leaf springs.
Yeah. Have you noticed a difference? I mean, you came from a 4Runner, so you're probably used to it.
My 4Runner felt like a boat. It was huge. I mean, I had it lifted super high. I had very heavy springs to hold all the weight, so I felt it. I haven't felt a difference in this. I'd love to maybe drive a 3rd gen stock and then
with
this
leaf
stock
springs,
to see. But it handles great, and I know that. So that's been awesome. I don't know if that's necessarily because of the coil springs, but I think it'll just be better to work on. And I like coil springs more in general. So I think it'll be good. I think it's a good upgrade as well.
Yeah, I like the way it looks. I know one thing here is this link is pretty low. Do you think that's going to be an issue like when you're off-roading, hitting rocks and stuff? Like, or was that even an issue on your 4Runner? Did you have to worry about it?
Honestly, that's why we build sliders. That's why.
That's true.
Like everyone always says, sliders and skids are probably the first thing you should do if you're actually going to be off-roading. Just protect your truck. You might as well. So no, I think with the sliders that have been developed, and I'll be putting on CVI sliders. That'll be another video. But with sliders, I don't worry about it.
Yeah, true. And speaking of different upgrades and stuff, I know you've got a lot planned for this build. What are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to do more of like a desert racer or overland?
It'll be overland. Okay. So I'll get a full bed rack. We'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah.
Super excited for it. Excited to work with this company that we're working with. So that'll be cool. Full Molly panels in the bed. So that's already been developed. Cali-Rays is ahead of it with that. They've got.
So you're doing full Molly panel setup in the rear.
Cali-Rays has got full Molly panels to go in here. So we'll put that in. We'll do an install video, all that.
Cool.
That'll be super cool to have the whole bed Molly.
And there's a couple of different storage options and bed options now. I know like with the tailgate, a lot of Tacomas will have that powered tailgate.
Yep. So I don't. I think that's probably.
That's another option.
Premium or Pro, TRD Pro. But what is nice is like this tailgate is soft closing obviously and soft opening, but it's really
crazy light.
So it's not like it's, I don't know. That would be awesome to have the automatic, but it's not like it's a heavy tailgate that's hard to deal with. So that's cool.
Like I have a 2nd gen and there's no way I'm lifting that tailgate with just like my finger. This thing's crazy.
Yeah. With that, a cool upgrade. I can't remember if this is standard or not, but these bed lights.
This makes it really nice. And
I mean,
especially
at night,
up here too.
This lights up everything. So that's awesome. I'm really excited they upgraded that. And with that, we have chargers over here.
Okay, so you do have chargers right here. What?
Power in the bed, so that's awesome. Some storage right here. And
that's something we've seen on past Tacomas as well, so they've kept that.
Yep, that's awesome.
And is that your DC outlet over here?
Exactly, more power. So I'm really happy with it. It's an awesome rear end for the truck. I mean, this looks like a 3rd gen.
And these taillights.
Yeah.
I love the taillights on this.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what aftermarket does with that. We've seen a little bit with the new Tundra.
Yeah, kind of what like Alpha Rex.
It's a mini Tundra. It really does look like a mini Tundra right here. So.
And there's a lot of people that don't like that look. Is that something you are a fan of?
No, I like it. I think it looks good. I think it looks aggressive. I like the boxy look of the truck. Something I don't know compared to the 3rd gen, but this
is huge.
It's like
you might be able to see it from this angle, but it sticks out. It
bubbles out, and I like it. I think it looks cool. It makes it look more sporty and like a more off-road vehicle. So I think it looks really good.
And I want to touch on that a little bit because I don't know about you. When I first saw the pictures of this truck and with the way cars have gone these last few years, everything just gets bigger and bigger.
Yep.
And when this first came out, it looked huge. But I mean, compared to a 3rd gen, it's essentially like the same size.
Yeah, it is. I think it does bulge out a little more, but it looks good. It makes it look like a more aggressive truck.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what people do for wide body most of the time.
And now it's already wide body.
And that's like factory. So it looks really good. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I guess like on the rear, something that is new is the tailgate or the exhaust cuts out to this side now.
Oh yeah, I guess that did flip.
It's one thing that we've seen.
Which we'll see. I mean, we've got tons of companies we work with.
I doubt it stays here for long.
Yeah, no. They'll develop something cool, and we will get it on there, and it'll sound good. So.
And I know a lot of companies will do like a blackout Tacoma. Is that something that you've considered doing on here?
Yep, we will absolutely do that. And we work a lot with Tough Skins. We sell a
Yeah.
lot of their products, so we'll absolutely get that filled in and just keep designing new designs for it and new colors, all kinds of stuff.
Cool. And I know we've talked a little bit about armor. Are you thinking of a rear bumper? I've heard that designing a rear bumper for these trucks has been a little bit of an issue. Is that something you're worried about, or?
No, the industry is so advanced. We'll figure it out. Like,
yeah.
we will have a rear bumper, obviously. I don't know what my plans are yet with it.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have any plans, but we'll see what comes in the next couple weeks.
And it's cool too, because I notice here you get jack points on each side.
Yeah, that is cool. It's a good safety, right? It's a good place to be able to work on your truck and keep that in a safe manner.
Yeah. I know, just you showing me the truck, one thing I think I've noticed is Toyota's really just made a product here that is just easy for us to modify, right?
Yep. Yeah, Toyotas are like Legos. Like you can literally take off a taillight with 2 bolts and have a new cooler one in. You can do anything to these trucks. So I'm excited to see what happens with that aftermarket. We've seen it with the 3rd gen. People make crazy builds.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how fast that comes for the 4th gen, and also just the new designs people do. People are always coming up with new stuff, and we love it.
Yeah, I mean, we got a whole new platform, and we're excited to see where this thing goes. New truck for the next 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be the top generation. And honestly, since I bought it on Friday, 4 days ago, I have already seen them all over. They are blowing up. They're hard to keep on lots for Toyota dealerships right now, and
I saw one the other day driving to work.
Yeah, we see them all over already. So I just can't imagine what it's going to be in a couple years. It's going to be just as big as the 3rd gen, I think. Yeah,
and I know a lot of things I've seen on forums is people really concerned with pricing and how much these new trucks cost. And I don't know if you want to go over how much you paid for this one, but has it been worth it?
Yeah, I paid sticker for it. I didn't pay over. I was told them I didn't want to. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard because pricing is what it is, and if you don't pay over sticker, then you're okay.
Yeah.
But cars are just expensive now too.
Yeah, that's
everything.
True.
I just feel like that's where our market is right now, and they're going to charge what they can charge. So.
Yeah, and you did say you were able to get it for MSRP.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a high quality truck. You're going to pay for what you get, and I don't think you're getting. Or I don't feel like I've been ripped off in any way. Toyota priced it, and it is what it is, and it's a premium product. It's an awesome truck, so I think it's great.
I will say I've noticed a lot of dealers have been selling these at MSRP, not marked up.
Yeah.
So I guess to anyone out there looking for them, you can find them at MSRP. You don't have to pay those crazy overpriced market adjustments. There's options out there.
There's options. There's all kinds of dealerships that don't do markups. So
well, it's pretty sweet. We love what you've done to it so far with just the wrap, and we're excited to see what you do with it in the future.
I'm excited.
We are so excited to have gone over this build. Thank you, Colby, for bringing it by. For anyone that wants to keep up to date on what you do to this build, where can they follow you?
Tacoma Colby. It was 400 Colby, got a Tacoma, now it's Tacoma Colby. So Tacoma Colby on Instagram.
Yeah, and we got some pretty big things planned for this build. Where
it's going to change a lot.
Yeah.
So it'll be an Expo, Overland Expo West in May. So
it's going to be a quick build.
Fully built in the next 3 weeks. So come to Expo. If you're going to be at Expo, come by our booth. It'll be there front and center. And just keep up. We're going to do a full build series on the YouTube. So
it's going to be one of the first built out 4th gen Tacomas, and we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys are following along on Tacoma Lifestyle on YouTube, Instagram. Make sure you're following Tacoma Colby to get his updates. And we are excited to build out this 4th gen Tacoma.